This is my friend Jason. Check out his cool t-shirt, huge type, looks sweet. Jason just did a giant sketch scroll of my game storming workshop, and I asked Jason if he would talk us through it. So take it away, Jason.
Easy enough. So kind of starts with a little bit of context, like what are we even doing here? So
What are we doing here?
So yeah, what we are doing here is it's UI 15, an awesome web conference here in Boston, and we're talking about game storming. And to even get to this like level of coolness, it's taken a lot of crappiness. So it's taken a lot of like a lot of sketching to get to a point that actually makes sense, at least for me. So you know, as Dave was talking, I'm picking up little elements of his talk. So I'd say I'm catching like 20% of the information he's talking about and just distilling it into something visual, because visual works a lot better than text in almost all cases. So he was saying that, Jedi mind tricks for meetings, which is fantastic. So of course I pull upon my Star Wars youth, and that's that. And so as the conversation goes on, we just...
All right, so talk us through it. Right down here we got...
we went from just an intro of this is what the ideas that Dave's trying to present, and we got to, we got into an icebreaker, which was just to put your name and your mood onto a little folded piece of paper and put it on your table. And this, gets everyone to introduce themselves and kind of explain how they're feeling today, because sometimes you look crabby, but it's not really the people around you that are making you crabby. So that's swell. And we moved on to explaining Elizabeth Gold, which was hilarious that you mentioned this, because my wife is a molecular biologist, and she mentioned this to me like weeks ago.
Wow.
So I was like, oh wow, that's somebody I know. That's fantastic. So anyhow, there's something about mice brains. You can tell how much I retained on that. Really, it's just a great visual of mice in cubes, which looks very similar to working in a cube farm. And is just as conducive for creativity. So we roll up here, which is like, cube farms aren't a creative factory, so you can't really get a lot of creativity out of thinking inside this sterile environment where there's not much collaboration, indeed, at all.
Sure.
So then the conversation went to Beta Cup, which was this cool little program that people got together to think of a better way to do coffee, and essentially. They knew what the problem was, which is there's an asshole involved somewhere, and he's the guy that's kind of holding up the line and wants his half-calf cinnamon dolce latte, and you just want a dark coffee, big and with espresso in it, and so they've got this problem, and people got together without really knowing how they'd solve it, and they started sketching out ways that they would solve it.
Cool.
And it turned out to be a really good thing, and Starbucks loved it. Apparently, they love the process more than what actually came out of it, although I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
Then we got into what are games, because the Beta Cup folks were doing stuff that was a lot of games, like they were doing was it People Storm? What was it? Was it
Body storming?
Body storming, yeah. People storming, close enough. Anyhow, so we got into discussing what are games, what makes a game. And so we got into all that good stuff. Josh tomorrow mentioned there's a win state or a lose state, which was a funny way of putting that you could win or lose. What else
we had talked about Pillsbury Spaceman.
Dave's drawing was reminiscent of a Pillsbury Spaceman, so that's why that's in there. It really doesn't serve any other purpose except for comic relief, but a lot of times that's what you need.
Yes.
So that's in there.
Okay.
And we explained, a little bit of the process and
the difference between an industrial and a creative
more of a
process.
Creative process. There's this, vast fuzzy goal, which is much like a marshmallow bunny sometimes. So fuzzy goals, they're great. They're progressive, and a lot of times people aren't comfortable with that because the goal isn't always defined.
Okay.
So then we got into opening up and doing an actual game. So one of the things we did was we wrote down on sticky notes things we're excited about. So for me, that was the UX book club, just UX design in general, maybe start my own business, and then StarCraft 2, which I'm thrilled about.
Cool.
And
putting your excitement on the table.
Yeah, which is an awesome way to get people to just kind of rally some energy and explain to each other what what's important to them at the moment. So that's what this molecule of energy is for.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that came off as a molecule of energy. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough, right?
Looks like energy happening to me.
Yes.
And then my website is as disorganized as a garage.
Yeah, it's functional but not very tidy, which I think is a lot of people's sentiments for their websites in general.
And then this is your exploration.
And yeah, and so this is my and Lisa, one of the other volunteers. We explored this problem, so she was kind enough to agree to do StarCraft 2 with me.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of different aspects of how to be a better gamer. You gotta get better at like mechanics. So first we listed out all these different aspects of how to get better at gaming, or specifically this game.
Okay.
And some of the things we decided to illustrate that were mechanics. So you want to be able to click buttons really fast. This thing is APM, your actions per minute, and the pros are somewhere around 300 per minute, which is insane. There's some strategy, like where to move your units and when, and there's some tactics involved, and you got to get better at that stuff. And joining a clan or a community might be a great way to improve your gaming skills.
LOL.
Yeah, which is at this point I was like, wow, I actually brought StarCraft 2 into my professional life. So actually, an important point to make is in here is the day job. Good time management skills, very important in order to be better at gaming. Is being able to manage when you're doing that.
And then what's the last picture?
And
here?
then the last part here is getting people to open, explore, and close, and just the very important aspect of closing. And a lot of times meetings happen like this, where you open, you do a lot of stuff, and then you end, and it's like, oh my god, what did we do? What did we finish? And there's no discussion of it. There's no like closing it off. So that was especially relevant for me. So
awesome.
Illustrated that, and then finished off with just participate on Game Story, which is an awesome blog where people can post things like this, maybe even this video someday.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to close the wall. But that paper on the wall.
Take it down.
Take it down.
Thank you very much.